Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am getting ready for the day using a full face of luxury favorites. And today's video is sponsored by Sephora, and that is where you will find all of the products that we're going to talk about today. I wanted to create a soft, glam, fall-inspired look, so I will be showcasing two products in particular. The first is the gorgeous Honeymoon eyeshadow palette from Tom Ford. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this palette. It has to be one of the best sellers. So hopefully if you have this at home, it will make it really easy for you to follow along. If you are not familiar with Honeymoon, all you have to do is take one look inside. These shades embody the season. It looks like fall foliage for the eyes. So you can create a lot of different fall looks using this palette. I am also going to take you through my 3-step flawless face, flawless complexion routine using none other than Dior Air Flash. This is my holy grail foundation. You guys know that it is very easy for me to talk about this, so these two products were sent over complimentary along with the Sephora Pro brushes that I will be using today, and I will be sure to list those down below. They're incredible. I filled in the gaps with favorites from my makeup collection, so if you would like to see how I achieved today's look, just keep watching. We're starting with eyes, and I've already primed my eyelids with just a little concealer, and I even went in the crease with a touch of bronzer as well, because the thing about this Honeymoon palette, I'm going to go ahead and take it out of its beautiful protector, is that all of the shades inside have a little luminosity, which is beautiful, but I just personally like something a little bit more matte in the crease. But I am taking this Pro Crease number 19 brush from Sephora, and I'm starting in this shade right here. I'm concentrating the color on the outside of the crease, outer V area, and then slowly blending it in. And even though it's neutral, it's a very versatile palette, because you can use these eyeshadows wet or dry, which is my favorite formula from Tom Ford. You can tell because it has the little TF embossed right on the powder. Anytime you see that TF, that means it can be used wet or dry. And we are going to use the shadows wet today, so you'll be able to see the difference. Even when you use the shadows dry, you get great color payoff. Really beautiful. The texture is incredibly creamy as is, but when you wet the eyeshadows, it becomes really intense. So I'm going to take my Pro Shadow 15 brush from Sephora, wet it using the Caudalie Beauty Elixir, and I'm going into this really pretty rust shade right down here at the bottom. It makes the palette that much more dynamic, and I am taking that all over the lid, up to the crease, but not above it. Once that has a minute to dry down, I'm going back with my Pro Crease 19 brush, swirling into the golden camel, and I'm just going to soften the crease. When I go in with my brush, I take the tapered point directly in the crease, and then I angle up. That way it does all of the work in blending for me. I just wiped that off, and now we're going into this deeper shade right down here in the corner, and we're going to add some depth and dimension in the outer V. Bear with me, I know a smoky eye looks crazy when it's just the eyes. Taking my middle finger, I'm going into this really pretty gold shade right here, and I'm just going to tap that lightly right on the center of the lid. This is going to really open up the eye and add more dimension. I quickly cleaned up my under eye, and I'm priming my face today using the Farsali Liquid Glass Radiance Primer. I love this primer, one of my favorite discoveries of the year. And the reason I love it so much is not necessarily because it gives glass skin, but I just love the grip. I want today's look to be very fall forward, but also almost translucent. All of the products we're going in with today have radiance and luminosity. That way we're gonna be really glowy. So it's not a flat, matte, dry fall look. We're keeping a bit of summer today. You can see my skin has a lot of reflection now, which looks beautiful, but the best part about the primer is that it will leave my skin feeling slightly tacky. Tacky in a good way because it's going to grip and hold on to anything that I put on top. And it does a great job filling any fine lines, pores. It creates a really smooth canvas for our foundation. The first step is to take a drop or two of beauty oil on the back of my hand, and today I'm using the Lord Jones Royal Oil. I think this was the first CBD brand at Sephora. It's very thin, so you want to be careful with this one. Any beauty oil will do. This is just going to help enhance your glow. It helps prevent your foundation from drying out over time. And then we want to take a little liquid illuminator. I'm using the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of my favorites. With my Pro Foundation 70 brush from Sephora, I'm just mixing that cocktail on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take my air flash, give it a nice little shake. I use the shade 3N, by the way. And I'm going to spray directly on my brush. And I do short little bursts. Just like that. Starting in the center of the face, I'm going to blend that out. If you've never tried Dior Air Flash or any Dior foundation and you're not sure about what shade to choose, Sephora has a great tool on their website. It's the Sephora Shade Finder. You can enter your shade in other brands and then it will suggest a match. When you need more foundation, simply go back and spray the brush again. I find that with Air Flash, you don't need as much foundation as you do with other formulas, which is why I like to start in the center and blend out, slowly building the foundation instead of going in and trying to spray the entire face or anything crazy. I love coverage. I am a full coverage type of gal, but with Dior Air Flash, I find that less is more, especially when you go in with the beauty oil and the liquid illuminator. It just makes your skin look naturally flawless. So this is not going to be a cake face. It is not a heavy feeling foundation combination. That's the other great thing about mixing in the other two products is that it shears out the foundation even more. So it's already very thin. You can hear it in the can. It's a liquid foundation. So when you apply it to the skin, it just glides on so easily. And it really feels lightweight. I love how I can still see my skin shining through, but overall my complexion is completely even. My skin looks glowing and flawless. And I know for some people, like if you have oily skin, you might want to skip the beauty oil, just go in with the liquid illuminator. But I have combination skin and this works perfect on me. If you have dry skin, the oil is going to be beautiful on you. It just restores that health. For concealer, I'm using the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I use the shade L3. This is going underneath the eyes, and I'm also going to use it to highlight. This is a very full coverage concealer, so I'm being careful not to use too much. You can always add more, but if you go in with too much right off the bat, you can't magically have less. So I'm blending that out with a Sephora Pro Concealer 57 brush. This is a little bit smaller than the concealer brush I'm used to using, but I really like it. It helps you to be really precise. To set my concealer and make sure we don't cover up that glow we just created, I'm going in with the YSL Touche Eclat 3D All Over Glow Powder. This is another one of my favorite products. I think it is one of the best launches of 2020. I just love this powder so much. The packaging is gorgeous, this pearlescent pink. It's very beautiful. It's supposed to be a universal shade, but of course, I think we all know and can agree that no shade could possibly be universal for everybody. It does work for everybody, but it's going to be something different. So for me, I can use this to set my entire face. If you have darker skin than I do, this is going to be more of a highlighter on you. And if you are very fair, this would maybe be a bronzer topper because it's not translucent. It does have some color, so you just want to be careful. And the best part about it is it has glow. So if you touch this powder, it feels incredibly creamy. We went in with the liquid illuminator, the oil, so we want our skin to look glassy and glowy. If I went on top with a matte powder, it would just cover up what we've just done. So I want to use a powder that has a little luminosity. It's subtle. It almost gives the skin an airbrushed glow. So it's not like you're dusting highlighter all over your face. You don't have to worry. And now we need to warm up our face, so I'm going in with the Gucci bronzer. One of my favorites from this summer. I use the shade 3. I'm using the Sephora 59 Pro Powder Brush. I've been using this for bronzer. You can tell it's permanently bronzed, but I love this brush because it's so soft and fluffy. For blush, I'm going in with another Tom Ford favorite. This is Love Lust. It's a very soft, kind of peachy pink. It looks really natural. And there's a little gold shimmer to it. So again, luminosity all around. So now it's time to finish the eyes, and I'm going in with one of the applicators that came with the Honeymoon palette. It's this little tapered sponge, which is perfect for details, and I'm going into the really pretty soft golden sand shade right here. And this is going in the inner corner of the eye and this tear duct area right here. Same little brush, I'm dipping into the rust shade down here. This went all over the lid. This is going underneath the lower lash line. Using the little brush applicator, I'm just going to smoke that out so that it's nice and soft. It's very rare that I use the applicators that come with the palette, but that's the great thing about Tom Ford. I'm back. I finished my eyes off camera. I filled in my eyebrows. I have a full tutorial in case you're interested, but just so you know, I used the Benefit Brow Microfilling Pen, the Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I set my brows in place using the 24-hour brow setter. This is the best brow gel I have ever tried. I also went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Feline Flick to line the top lash line. I did a little baby wing, and then I used the Pillow Talk eyeliner in the waterline. This has that perfect burnt rusty brown tone, so it works perfectly with the eyeshadow palette. And then I went in with my current favorite mascara. This is the new Marc Jacobs At Lashed. So this is what's on my lashes, and then the last step is lips, and I have a little trio here. So the first step is to go in with this Laura Mercier lip liner. Today I'm using Rosewood. This shade is the perfect pinky nude. I lined them and I filled them in a little bit. I wanted to keep the lips kind of soft. I think we're gonna do a nude lip today because the eye look isn't too smoky, but it's pretty deep and dramatic, especially for an everyday look. So for a nude lipstick, this is a luxury video after all, I'm going in with my Christian Louboutin. Does it have the shade? This is the shade 700 to Tulle. This is a very light nude, but I think it looks really pretty with this lip liner and the gloss we're gonna use. And now I'm gonna top that off with Pat McGrath Labs Peach Perversion lip gloss. Just to add some shine. I love a glossy nude lip. If I'm gonna do a super nude lipstick, I want lots of gloss. And as a final step, I'm going to set my face with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. My makeup is now done, so this is the complete makeup look for the day. Overall, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I absolutely love all of these luxury products, but I will say I think the star of the show today is this Honeymoon Quad from Tom Ford. You can just do so much with it. You could take it really smoky, even lighter if you wanted to. All of these colors are so appropriate for fall. And I think it's nice to have a couple tutorials saved in your back pocket for every palette you own. That way when you pull it out, you know exactly what you're gonna do with it. So now that I have perfected this look over a couple of tries, I will probably recreate this a lot in the next couple of weeks, couple of months. I'm happy with it. So that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Let me know if you already own this palette or if you have a favorite fall palette. Drop me a comment so we can keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face down below in the description box. That's for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.